Good evening, this is IRS, and I'm getting ready to play a little Graviteam Tactics, Mius Front. I'm going to continue a campaign I started last night, had a big battle, totally slaughtered the Russians, playing as the Germans, and playing the Stepanovka, Marinovka front. I've actually played this one before, but it was over a year ago, and frankly I forgot how to play this game. And it's really complex, so if you see this video and see stuff I'm doing wrong, knock yourself out, tell me what I'm doing wrong. I plan on doing one battle per session. We'll see how it goes. I'll give it a shot. So we're in progress. We're still on turn 1, and it's just gonna be the next battle. So I'm gonna hit continue and get rocking. All right, I'm playing as a German, so I'm basically on defense here. Red Army's gonna attack this position here, and the game is pretty complex. It looks like I've got some fairly decent units here, some infantry. This is probably a training unit, or it looks like infantry. I got some artillery here. Oh, it's AT. Nice. You're gonna need AT because more than likely the Russians will hit us with tanks. Hopefully they will, and we have some AT to deal with it. Mainly what you're dealing with is trying to defend these two villages up here, and the terrain up here is great for defense. Down here, I'm not so sure. These guys are already dug in. That's what these things are here for. So let's get into the battle, and you can check it out for yourself. The great thing about this game is the physics engine is fantastic. You know, tanks get hit, they're on fire, they roll, they continue to burn. Secondary, tertiary explosions. Infantry doesn't need to be told what it's doing all the time. I do a lot of sitting watching when I'm playing this game because as the Germans, it's all defense. It's all about where you place your units. So you have a general map like this, and you can take a look at your disbursement of troops. The blue markers are the German layout of the defenses. Wow, it looks like Marinovka and Stepanovka. Marinovka is right here, excuse me. And Fedorovka. Okay, so we've got two villages here, and it looks like the Russians are coming at us from the high ground. You know, this is where all the objectives are, here and here. The AI will usually do an artillery bombardment, and it's easy to avoid the AI's artillery bombardment for the most part. Just stay away from these objective areas here. So let's take a look, and I'm going to pause it now for a minute while I get my troops set up for the battle. I think what I'm going to do is we'll go up here first and take a look. This is the direction that the Soviet attack is supposed to come from. It can come from here too, so I want to do some all-around defense here. I got this nice AA here. I may move it down into this gully here, so I do a little reverse slope defense. That tends to work pretty well in this game. I'll be back as soon as I get... Oh, I'll just leave it on because I don't want to do the monitoring here, or the modifying. So here we go. We're going to go back in. Come on, get back on the level. Okay. Take these anti-tank guns here. I want to see what they are, actually. And you got to get used to the user interface because it's not friendly. It's made by a Russian company. I think it's off the Aktun Panzer. Oh, so these are good guns. Pack 76s, I think, is what they are. So yeah, we're going to take this entire unit. Where are you? Grab one of these guys. There they are. Grab them all. And since they're supposed to come down this hill here, I'm going to take a little risk. Let's see what kind of view they get from here. I mean, they can see them cresting from here. I'm going to place them in a line right here. And any infantry or tanks come cresting that hill, they're going to be able to pulverize them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, this is the command unit, I'm going to put him here. Another command element, put them there. Guns. I'm not going to have him there. I'm going to, whoops. Put him there. Fairly easy to place your units. The boxes mean different things about what you can see and how you can see them in the distance. You can see things. It's a command element. Looks like they might even have a... What is this? Ooh, it looks like a... Oh, it's not a martyr? Sweet. put that there. Maybe well, that's got. I want to keep it in command. Then what you do is you take all your units, and you want to get them faced properly. So what you do is you come down here, and you change it from where you drop them into the position. See how they're all facing the wrong way? I suspect the attack's going to come from this direction. So I'm going to select them all, change it to this, and then right click, and they all face the direction of the attack. Works out pretty well. I'm going to leave this infantry right here, and these, it looks like they've got a couple heavy weapons units. I'm going to move those so I can get some direct fire. They may be mortars. The thing I don't like about that insignia is that they could be mortars or they could be HMGs. And if they're heavy machine guns, they're mortars. Okay, cool. These guys I'm going to put kind of down here. Well, can't put them in here where this cover is. Well, I'm going to defend at the bottom of the gulch down here with this unit. Is that a mortar unit? Okay, what unit is this up here? Okay, infantry. Cool. And let's put this infantry down here. These guys are digging in. That's what the shovel is for. So I don't want to get them too close to the objective because I actually like how they panned out. Let's make sure we've got them all. Minus a truck, so I'll put that truck. Well, it's kind of an obvious spot. I'll put it there. So as those infantry, anything that comes over that crest is there. Hopefully they'll get met by a hail of lead coming down on them. Get them pointed in the right direction. This stuff over here, another infantry unit. I see no point in holding that. Well, I suppose I could hold this 2-point victory hex, but the problem with that is, one, they don't have anti-tank, and if what's going to come across that open field is likely going to be tanks. I would need some sort of anti-tank weapon if I was going to position them there. So I think I'm going to take. I'm going to risk losing that position. Drop them down here. Leave these guys. Oops, you need to come over here too. This whole unit of guys, this whole gaggle. Put this this way. Let's see what unit this is here. Which you find out what unit. Oh, this engineering unit. Oh, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave him here. I mean, maybe I should position him for a possible rear attack coming from this direction over here, but I've got some defenders over there. You go here. Oh, I don't like them in the open like that, so I'm going to put them in this tree line. And they should, if they're going to be attacked, it's going to come from this direction, I think. So basically what we're setting up here is a reverse slope defense for them. We are praying that the attack comes down this, the avenue it's supposed to come, because if it does, we'll be ready for it, hopefully, even if they have armor. Now, I think this area over here is owned by the Soviets too. So I'm going to leave this infantry here, and I'm going to change their facing. Let's scan out just to make sure. Oh, it's that way. Okay, I'm wrong. Let's get these guys. A lot of times when the Russians advance in this game, one of the things I learned is they like to use these gullies. So I'm gonna do a little forward defense with these guys. Get that truck out of there. It's a bad place for that. A little forward defense. Get Commander Drexler back here a little bit of ways, and I'm gonna put you in a little bit better cover than where you are. And I think I've got them all but one unit, so I'm gonna bring that one unit back over. Let's put them. Actually, there's just not a lot more cover left. Put them in here, and we'll face these guys this way. You too, Schneider. So we've got a defense facing that way. The only problem I now have is that if there's an attack that comes from this direction and it comes down through this gully or back through here, it can hit my anti-armor back in the rear, and I can't have that. So something's got to give. It's going to be these guys. I need some close, and they're engineers, so I'm going to give that objective up. They go for it, and bummer. Bummer, bummer. Where are we? Okay, so we're going to go over here. I'm going to put in a defense line in these houses. Right. You know, they don't have a lot of... Whoops. I guess they... Whoops. What's up with that? Alright. So they can't deploy over here. What's up with that? Can I deploy a single unit? Huh. I guess I'll deploy them over here. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, they can't deploy there either. Oh. I'm going to deploy those in that gulch there. I'll get you into some cover. And I'm missing one guy. We're gonna... Let's just hope we have enough. This truck is just bad idea, so I'm going to put it down in here. Alright, what are these guys doing up here? It looks like it's a... Cool. We're gonna... deploy these guys by this bridge and maybe move them over here. I just want to be able to rain down. Okay, that's good enough. Let's go. There's initial orders to time, and I just, you know what, I'm just going to have these guys defend. You can set up all sorts of, you know, you could come down here and tell these guys, hey, take this unit, select them, and say, hey, you know what, you're going to have a, can't remember how to, oops. This sets up a angle where they're going to, you know, defend how they intend to shoot, so I could set that up like that, etc. You know, this targets items, so I really don't need to do that. The troops pretty much act on their own, so we'll get the battle going. What's up? Oh, that unit, for some reason, their commander's in the wrong place. Let's find where he is. I'm gonna pull him back in the middle here. Maybe that'll solve that problem. And then what you can do too is F11 speeds it up because it does take some time for the you got a clock, so it's 6:20 in the evening. You can see some pretty great stuff with these this game. They got whoops. You got the center of Marinovka here with the classic Russian church with the sweet steeple and all that stuff. And the buildings are destructible. A lot of the stuff is just blows up, and it's pretty sweet. Oh, here they come. We got Russian infantry coming down just like we thought they were. So we've got, looks like a recon element heading into the farmstead. I don't know why they haven't started firing at them, but I'm going to tell them to start. You guys have a shot at them. Light them up. Come on. I don't know why they're not firing. We've got some artillery coming down somewhere. They dropped something down in this spot here. Nobody's home. Lighten them up. Oh, they got all sorts of... Some artillery looks like they've seen our guns and are dropping some arty. Oh, they're laying down some pretty good fire. That's bad. Because if tanks start rolling down there, it's going to be trouble if they hammer my stuff with arty. I need to move some troops over here fast, so I'm going to move. I don't want to run to that arty. I'm going to move Drexler's troops to here. I'm hoping it's not a bad move, moving them out of that gully, but I need some more infantry. Oh, we're hammering them over here. That guy, I think he's dead. These guys are demoralized. They're getting hammered. That's the beauty of a rear slope defense, is generally you can put the hammer. The problem is these guys have already gotten in the gully. We're dug in here, so it's going to be a good fight. Oh man, they're putting the hammer in my guns. We've lost one gun so far, and they've smoked it, which makes me think we might have armor coming down. I'm hoping not. Okay, we're going to take this infantry unit. I'm going to move it there to get into flanking. There's a lot of them. I hear them screaming. And as usual, they've dropped a ton of arty right on the objective here. So we've got one attack coming from one direction. That's it so far. What's this enemy contact? That's that infantry coming down there. Along the right-hand side of the bar here, there's several things that tells you what's going on. Also, if you have available artillery, it shows up over here. And I've had a heck of a time getting my artillery to work properly. This is a great, you know, typical Eastern Front fighting, man. You got, and some of the physics of this, just the shooting is fantastic in this game. You can right down to the individual shoulder. This guy's, what are these guys doing? Get in there. Get in the act, lads. Boy, they've got these guys. Got this unit coming in the flank. These guys are way too bunched up. Nice. Is that the RD of the reinforcements? Or the infant? Yeah, it is. Don't like the positioning of these guys. Go. Commander, unit commander, I want you to stay back a little bit. Go. Get in your position. And you can tell individual, what I'm doing right now is telling individual units where I want them. Oh, they're coming across this way. Go, go. And I'm telling them to hurry. These guys are running. They're chugging it. Actually, we have trench lines here. Sweet. Get in that trench line. Get in the trench line there, buddy. Command element, get in that trench line. You and your boys get in that trench line. Ooh, they're coming across this open field here. Light them up, light them up. Forget the rest of it. Light them up. No tanks. Moving you fellas across over here. We got nothing coming up from the other direction. It's all coming from one direction. You got them in the open. Wail on them. So we got some heavy units firing from way over here. Fromholz. Is that a mortar or a heavy gun? Mortars in action. So they can see these guys, and they're dropping on them with mortars, machine guns from a distance. These guys have a nice flanking fire. I need to move these guys up into here. And these guys, sorry about that, boys, but you're gonna have to get up there and support. This, you can tell that there's 10 men in this unit. So I'm gonna move these guys over here. I'm going to keep them in that trench line. These guys have taken 3 casualties. These guys have taken 1. So we got 4 guys down. And we're in some close, tight fighting with these guys. This is a tight fight. These guys are, when they're blinking like that, that's never a good thing. They've taken 5 casualties, so this... Oh, these Russians are getting chewed up. Look at that. We've got guys down too, but it looks like we're doing, it looks like we're, oh. Let's get this guy's personal view. Whoop. He's got a light machine gun. Oh, he's about had enough. He's like, no way, man, I'm done. I got some smoke. They're trying to smoke. Infantry's not stupid. They don't just sit out there and get slaughtered. They're going to throw smoke out there to try to save themselves. But they're getting hammered right now. We're losing guys too. But we've got a little bit of cover. He's down. These guys are moving around, and that guy just got hit. We're taking some serious casualties because we're out in the open too, but I think it's better to do a little forward defense here and take some losses and keep these guys right out in the middle of an open field where I can lay the hurt down on them. I'm hoping next is I can deploy. It might be over by the time these guys get there, but I'd like to deploy these guys along this ridge line. They're staggered out. They're coming in. Is it a mortar or a heavy gun? Okay, mortar. Go. 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 Where's Penn, Teller? Teller's troops are coming up. Stay, or where are you going? Hustle up, boys. Bringing them all onto line. Hustle up, Dietrich. You'll miss the action. What if it's the gun? Just trying to light those dudes up. Come on, you got line of sight, bro. Maybe not. Russians have offered a ceasefire, so I'm not going to come across. I was going to flank them through that open field, but I'm not going to do that. It's just a good way to get those guys killed. It looks like we punched them pretty bad. They're about ready to... And there's a lot of casualties down here, man. This guy's wanting out. Runs a whole unit. Well, I was hoping that we get some Russian armor coming down that hill. One of the things too about the game is that it will give you draws and losses when you've clearly slaughtered an enemy in a battle. I mean, you'll have a battle where you, okay, now they're opening up with these heavy guns. Here they come now. I got crossfire coming into these guys from over here. Oh, they're just caught in the open, and it's just infantry assaulting down a hill into waiting guns is just a bad general idea. The hill's like, it looks like the moon. It's been hammered. Well, we're gonna let this battle go. Accept the ceasefire. When do you accept a ceasefire? And it has to be the enemy ceasefire. Otherwise, the other option is that you can run away. There is an option to do that in the game, where you can get out of there instead of accepting a ceasefire. When you do that, you run out of. It runs a clock down from 30 seconds, and the battle will come to an end. So, yeah, I got totally defeated in that battle. It just doesn't make any sense. 35 casualties. I had 13 killed and 22 wounded. So 35 total. The enemy had 75 killed and wounded. So they more than doubled their their casualty rate. That's what I was talking about with this game. You can slaughter guys in the open for 10 minutes. I could have left it go for another 5 minutes and killed another 20 guys out in the open, but just didn't make sense. The neat thing about this feature, though, is you can go, so you can see the casualties, 35 to 75. And you can go over here and click this, and it'll take you back to the battlefield. And what you can do is wherever you see the gray flags, gray dots, that is where troops were hit and wounded or killed. And then one of the other things too you can do with this feature, which is pretty cool, is you can get rid of, I think there's, no, is it this one? There. You take away the boxes and then you can just see, you can just check out the carnage. This is the one spot they were caught in the open. Not a whole lot of guys survived that. And part of the reason they end up winning this battle, even though they didn't take any land at all, didn't move in anything, suffered more casualties. So they've got all these units here in reserve that they didn't even use, so they don't count against them. I think that's how it works. Over here, where's where they came down the slope, man? Oh, over here. I mean, there's nobody left alive. I mean, this is just like Bloody Ridge. I mean, look at that. Dead guy here, blood here, wounded guy here, pack of dead guys, already seen them. So, hope you enjoyed this battle. Next time we'll take the next battle, but that's it for now. Thanks.